Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Amy. If you're not new here, thanks so much for coming back. We're very happy to have you. So today we're going to be doing a 28-week pregnancy update. That means hello third trimester. I'm so excited. I'm trying out a new thing today wherein I don't talk super fast, so maybe I won't get out of breath. I'm already out of breath. So without further ado, let's talk about this little guy and what he is doing at 28 weeks. So since my last update, which was I believe at 24 weeks, he has grown about 3.5 inches and almost a pound. He's up to about 15 inches long and 2.25 pounds. Now those are of course approximations because once the initial development stage of baby growth is done, they grow and add fat and whatnot at different levels. Obviously every baby's not born at the same weight and length. I'm already talking really fast, I'm sorry. According to my handy dandy app, he is as big as a head of lettuce. Again, I find this rather subjective because some heads of lettuce are bigger than others, but I digress. If you're into movie props, he's as big as Dorothy's red slippers from The Wizard of Oz. He's getting into proper position for birth, which means a head down position. I can actually feel like if I lay down and palpate my abdomen, my uterus, I can feel his little tiny head. It's like a little itty bitty, but he is head down right now, which is good. It's optimal. He's practicing blinking this week, so he can sense light. If you were to put like a flashlight out, they can see light, and so sometimes they'll kind of move away from it, but they're practicing blinking. Excuse me. I stopped and had Chick-fil-A before I came home to film this. He is increasing his brain activity and he is also starting to dream. Maybe that's why I'm not sleeping. Anyway, so brain activity increases and he starts to dream around this time. He's been doing a lot of kicking and barrel rolls, or at least that's what it feels like. Kind of like when you see videos of like an alligator or a crocodile fighting its prey and wrestling. I imagine that's what he's doing in my uterus. He is getting bigger, so he can't quite like roll as much. It's more like jabs and stabs and kicks, and you can feel them and see them from the outside a lot better now because, like I said, he's getting bigger, so he can't necessarily freely flip around as much, but he still does a whole lot of movement and shaking. It's visible from the outside more now, like I said, but also because this is my 5th baby and I had or have a diastasis recti, diastases, whatever you want to call it. It's where your abdominal muscles, so there's connective tissue that connects two abdominal muscles that go up and down. And when they get stretched out, oftentimes during pregnancy, that connective tissue can get thin, and so the abdominal muscles don't close back together all the way. Well, I have that problem, and so about now in my pregnancy, everything's so stretched out that right around my belly button especially, the muscle wall and the connective tissue is very thin, so I can feel a lot. So if I stick my fingers in my belly button, I can actually feel little parts of his baby body rolling past. It's kind of cool. It's a little startling sometimes when, you know, I'm just sitting there resting my hand on my belly and he assaults me with a knee or whatever, but it's also super fun. You guys, I'm failing. I talk fast and I can't breathe. Help me. So on that note, let's talk about me. Symptoms. I get out of breath easily. Walking up hills, having conversations, filming YouTube videos. I can't breathe because my uterus is large. I'll show you that in a minute. Which means it's pushing all my organs up into my lungs, which means they have trouble expanding as much as they normally would, which means I spend a lot of time huffing and puffing. So otherwise, symptoms, round ligament pain, still having it, not as bad. I can't tell you, like, I feel like maybe I'm not remembering my other pregnancies accurately. I really wish I would have done like a diary or a vlog or a blog or something, just cataloging all that so I could tell you if I'm like on track or if this is different. But I feel like by this point, usually, like, you know, if you've been pregnant before and you've had round ligament pain, like that feeling when you go to roll over in bed and it just hurts, like it hurts in your ligament, it feels like something's tearing, it hurts. I haven't had any of that. Touch wood, because I don't like it, I don't want it, but that hasn't been as bad. It's still present. Sometimes if I move too suddenly or quickly or whatever, I do get some round ligament pain, and that's not comfortable. Insomnia has been a real issue for the last couple of weeks. I have not been sleeping super well. I wake up and don't go back to sleep as easily as normal. I'm kind of past the whole debilitating exhaustion phase, so I can't just like pass out when I lay down, which means that I'm not necessarily sleeping as well, but it's okay. It'll be fine. My migraines have been touchy. A couple of weeks ago I had one that lasted for several days and was a bit of a hassle to get rid of. And then I didn't have any headaches really up until this past weekend. We were laying floor, and I think I just stayed up too late because we were putting down new flooring in the front half of the house, and we finished that up, but I didn't go to bed till like 1:30. And I woke up the next morning with a migraine. That was Sunday morning, and then I had a migraine Sunday. It would kind of like ebb and flow. Like it wasn't horrid the whole time, but it would come and go. And I still had it Monday. Tim actually worked from home on Monday because it hurt so bad. And then Tuesday I still had it. And then yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, I woke up with just the slightest hint of a migraine, but I was so tired from like not sleeping well from being in pain. And just because having a migraine is exhausting anyway. But I didn't even go to my ladies' Bible study, which I love going to, because I didn't want to drive because my eyes were on fire and I was so tired. So yeah, that's been a thing. Thankfully, they last for a day or two. I have meds to help manage the pain, and then I don't seem to be getting migraines in between right now. So that's good. I'll take it. It has been nearly 4 weeks, I think. I want to say 4 weeks, 5 weeks, maybe longer. I don't know. Since I've almost passed out. So I think I've mentioned this in previous videos. My blood pressure and blood sugar, I'm not sure if it's a combination of the two or one or the other, mid-second trimester has a habit of dropping, and I have a habit of becoming very faint, needing to sit down, and sometimes even passing out. I haven't actually passed out this pregnancy. Again, touch wood. But I did have a couple of instances where I definitely had to sit down and take some deep breaths, drink some water, and come home from whatever it was that we were doing. But I haven't had any of those episodes in weeks, so I think that kind of means they're behind me, because it's usually just a period in pregnancy when that happens. Again, with the breathing heavy. Heartburn has become more of a thing. I have had heartburn with all my pregnancies. It kind of kicks in around now. I feel like the less room your stomach has and the less distance it has to go, the easier it is for that reflux just to come right back up. I've been just chewing papaya enzymes. They seem to work really well. And it's usually just if I eat later in the evening, is especially when I get it, and then I try to lay down. It's a thing then, but otherwise it's not too bad. My stomach itches. Like the skin has been stretched to the point where now it's starting to itch. I'm getting new stretch marks, which seems a little bit cruel because my skin has been stretched out 4 times before this. You would think that maybe it just could use the old stretch marks, but no. So it is what it is. Anxiety. That one's been fun. So I have anxiety when I'm not pregnant. It's a fairly new development as I've gotten older, and I think as the onset of my thyroid issues and hormonal imbalances, my anxiety has just kind of ramped up. It hasn't been too bad, but I've been having to manage symptoms of anxiety more in this pregnancy in the last few weeks, just with you know, using like massage or external stimulation, tactile touch things. Tim will rub my feet, he'll rub my legs. I'll listen to music to fall asleep, just like, and it has to be like the same music every night. So it's like kind of like a routine, like something that I can focus on and count on and know exactly what's coming next to kind of soothe my anxiety. And it happens mostly at night. So, I mean, I guess that's convenient because Tim's here and he can kind of help me center myself and relax. But that has been a bit of a challenge. And then on to our last and final symptom of the video, gas. I had somebody ask me how, like, if that was an issue or, you know, like TMI question. Yeah, it's a thing. When you're pregnant, your progesterone levels increase, and progesterone is a hormone that not only supports pregnancy, it also relaxes smooth muscle tissue. Your intestines are smooth muscle tissue. And so that kind of causes them to essentially atrophy. They get lazy, your bowels get sluggish. Peristalsis slows down, which is the motion that pushes the digested food through your intestines. So, you know, the longer it sits there, the longer it has to make smells. Yeah, I've been gassy. I feel like that's a thing with pregnancy. Like, everybody's gassy and nobody wants to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I haven't been constipated too bad. Like, I've been able to go fairly regularly without much issue. But yeah, the gassiness is real. I get gas pains. I keep Gas-X on hand because I'm uncomfortable enough. I don't need to fiddle with like gas. It's awful. But yeah, no, it's a thing. It usually clears up on its own, but yeah, it's all that progesterone. Not a lot you can do to combat it. Just, you know, Gas-X and pray. That's all I can say. Otherwise, my uterus fundal height is measuring perfect, right on 28 centimeters for 28 weeks, which is exactly where it should be. My blood pressure has been fantastic. No protein or any signs of preeclampsia, anything like that, which we are monitoring, obviously, because I have one of my dear family friends thinks it's hilarious to say this, but I have what they call advanced maternal age. Mommy. Hi, honey. I have what's called advanced maternal age, which means that I'm over the age of 35, which in medical terms means that I literally have a diagnosis saying I'm old and crusty on my medical chart. Yeah, anyway, geriatric pregnancy is a thing. So I have that. So I've been monitoring my blood pressure just because that can theoretically elevate, like, the risk of preeclampsia. So that's basically where we're at. Everything's looking good. Beginning of the 3rd trimester, end of the road. We're approaching the finish line. Lily has joined me, which is why there's giggling in the background. And the only thing left is to take a look at the belly. Oh, can you see this? Do I need to back up? This is where we're at belly-wise. It's there. Carrying, I don't know, average-ish. I don't know, I'm grabbing my boobs, sorry. From the front. It's still mostly just all baby out front. So that's good.
I'm having a baby brother.
Yeah, there we go. If you guys want to see more updates on the pregnancy and follow along with me, feel free to subscribe and like so that you won't miss any future videos. And watch out, next week I'm going to have up my IVF explanation journey, how we got here video. So if you want to see that, again, subscribe so you don't miss it. And we'll see you back here real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.